Colorado Avalanche hockey on altitude is brought to you by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Your Colorado Porsche dealers. To find one near you, visit colorado.porschedealer.com. CenturyLink, a trusted technology partner, frees you to focus on what matters. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Shortline Subaru. Save money, drive better. The Avalanche welcome the New Jersey Devils to Denver here tonight at Pepsi Center for their first meeting of the year. Let's look at the Forge starting lineup. And as always, Peter will tell us about the starting goaltenders.
Well, for the New Jersey Devils, old nemesis of the Colorado Avalanche, Corey Schneider coming over from the Vancouver Canucks in a trade. Lifetime 6-1-1 against the Avalanche. But right now, Mike, there's no player, forward defenseman, goaltender that's hotter than Semyon Varlamov in nets for the Colorado Avalanche. 9-0-5, his last 14 decisions, Mike.
Here we go, Avalanche and New Jersey. And the Avalanche had the opening face-off. Holden, who really played well against Chicago. He was called upon to play quite a few minutes. The injury to Eric Johnson during the course of the game. Holden played over 25 minutes against Chicago. And Peter, at times, played really, really well. Picked up an assist in the game. High shot taken by Michael Ryder off the glass, back behind the Avalanche net. Tapped into the corner, rolled back behind the net, and the puck comes free for Benoit to take. Sends it out to center, and flying through the middle. McKinnon over the line. Mitchell, and a shot pinged, and it goes up high and out of play. What a chance there for the Avalanche early on for John Mitchell.
John Mitchell's talking to himself right now. They're just not going in for him, Mike. I mean, that's a perfect shot. Good play by Benoit, jumping up into the action right there. That's what you need your defenseman to do, because this is a tough team to get good scoring chances, the New Jersey Devils. They have the fewest shots on goal against per game, and Mitchell just shaking his head on the bench.
When you look at the last game for the Avalanche, 26 shots against Chicago. A lot more for the Hawks, but the Avalanche won that game in overtime 2 nights ago in Chicago. This Devils team have had points in 5 consecutive games, with 3-0-2 in those 5. Pass bouncing top of the far circle, broken up and pushed out to center ice by Zajac. Bounced off the boards, Dina Zubras, and then tossed into the Avalanche zone. Carried to center by Eric Johnson. Dumped to the corner, slowed up. Just mentioned a moment ago, Peter, Eric Johnson had to leave the game 2 nights ago in Chicago. Obviously, he's well enough to play in this contest against New Jersey. What happened?
He had Mike, he was telling me at the first 10 seconds of the game, there was a penalty call on him. He kind of tweaked his back, then he got hit hard into the boards in the second period. Tried to come out for the third period. Went around once, couldn't play. But for Patrick Roy, so he was last game because of injuries. He was coaching 16, not 18 skaters in that hockey game, and what he was the happiest about is the team played so well. Sure, Varlamov was out of his mind, played great, but everybody worked hard. Everybody had to play. You're down to 16 guys. It's a lot of extra ice time for certain players.
And it paid off. They had to get the overtime win. The defending champs. The puck slides slowly towards Schneider. What a record he's got against the Avalanche his career while with Vancouver. In the slot, shot by Barry, save, and the rebound pops back to the far side. 6-1-1 with a 1.61 goals against average with the Canucks. No score, just beginning things here. First period in Denver. Avalanche and New Jersey. These teams play again. Not too far from tonight. In New Jersey, they'll play on February 3rd as Schneider covers the puck right at the near side post. Then we got a little something developing. McLeod's got to be pushed away by the linesman. Things seem to be simmering down.
But Mike, let's not forget, this is the club New Jersey had 48 points in 48 games last year, 50 points in 48 games this year. Peter DeBoer, Mike, he took this club, like it was only 2 years ago. They got to Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals against the LA Kings and had the Kings nervous in Game 6.
Bounce back behind the net. Roll to the corner. Malone trying to center. Had the puck blocked. Scramble for the puck along the boards. Carter for New Jersey's number 20, Duchesne. And today, 23rd birthday for Matt Duchesne. Puck taken away. Carried out towards center by Andy Green. He makes the pass. Brought in over the line. Handed off. Followed up by Carter. Poke check from behind. That was Duchesne who came back defensively. Nice back check. Up to Malone from the red line. He dumps the puck in. And from behind the net, Zidlitsky carried to center ice. Lifted in. One of 3 players, along with Elias and Yager, will be on the Czech Republic Olympic team. Interception made by Landeskog. Quick pass out towards center. That's broken up. Benoit able to push the puck along the boards. Drop down at the red line. Zubras takes it back in and dumps it to the corner in the Colorado zone. He'll chase it with Benoit right on him. Kicked along by Zubras. And Holden's got his guy. Zubras pushes the puck back for Yager for 68 for the New Jersey Devils. And leading the team in goals, leading the team in assists, and obviously in points with 38. Whiffed at the point by John Merrill. And the Avalanche, John Mitchell, hands the puck. Chips it along for Landeskog. Merrill pitches in from the point. Keeps the puck in play in the Avalanche zone. Holden going to fight off his man. The puck came out in front and slapped down the ice. It'll roll wide of the net. That'll result in an icing call on the Avalanche.
Well, for Matt Duchesne, Mike, one of the reasons they made the Olympic club is right here. It's not the goal scoring, it's not the assists, it's these kind of plays. The battling down low. Stevie Yzerman, Mike, Patrick Waugh told us, called and said, we want to see him defensively stronger. Watch this play right here. That was the defenseman jumping up into the play. Great job of Duchesne, who has been knocked down in the corner, getting back to help out. That 3-zone hockey that really has typified his season this year more than other seasons. And it's Mike, amongst those 6 assists, game-winning assists in Minnesota on a great pass, game-winning assist in overtime against Chicago on another great pass.
Well, that's what happens, Peter, become a wily veteran at 23.
I was going to say,
today's his birthday.
We've been talking about him forever. He's 23. 5 years.
Went on the face-off. Fane reaches across and sent behind the Avalanche net. Smacked around. Held the point by Fane. O'Reilly for the Avalanche. Hayda over to Johnson. His pass caught a skate. Goes back into the Avalanche corner. Hayda sends it over everybody's head and down the ice, and the puck will turn on its edge and roll. Scooped up back behind the net. Green sends it around and lifted out to center ice by the Devils. Avalanche on it. Pushed out to center towards Hayda and slides it across. Eric Johnson likes to dump the puck in. Icing is waved off. Avalanche and New Jersey both changing up their forward line. Zidlicky sends it across. Down the far side. Shot. And the save made by Varlamov. Turns around to the corner. Tyson Barrie here on Tuesday night with his record-setting overtime goal. Now holds the franchise record for most overtime goals scored by a defenseman. Avalanche have the puck in the slot. Shot saved by Schneider. And the rebound goes across for Elias. What, Peter?
I was going to say, he's only played 71 games. This is his 72nd game of his career.
Pass goes up the ice for McLeod. Punched away from him. Chased down, tipped through, and carried over the line. Carter handoff, shot into the chest of Varlamov. Another save on the rebound by Varlamov. McLeod gets the puck behind him for Cleese. Makes his way in front of the Avalanche bench. A little help from Talbot. He makes sure he's over the red line before he dumps that one in. And the puck spun away. Handled by Merrill. Trying to work his way up the boards. Avalanche all over him. Landeskog, Malone, Bordeleau out for Colorado. Out to center ice. Puck rolls past to Benoit, but Landeskog there in the right spot. And the pass through the middle for Malone, and a bouncer in on Schneider. Really fires the pass out to center ice for Gianta. He takes a hit from Hayda and lands the puck in the Colorado zone. Johnson held up by Zubras. Pass back towards the point, into the low slot. Carried by Jagr, doing his magic. He shoots, and the save made by the goaltender, Semyon Varlamov. Well, it's just a little piece of what Jaromir Jagr can still do at this point in his career.
Welcome back to the Pepsi Center. Scoreless between the Avs and New Jersey. Patrick Waugh gave us an injury update this morning, and boy, was it a long one. Paul Stastny, he'll probably be back against Nashville, though maybe the game after that. Defenseman Corey Sarch, well, he is out indefinitely. P.A. Parenthood, 2 or 3 more games. He is ahead of schedule with his knee injury. Nate Ginnon, 7 to 10 more days. He is riding the bike right now. Alex Tanguay, knee and hip, he's feeling much better. He's day-to-day, guys.
In addition to Julie, J.S. Giguère is back as the backup tonight for goaltender Semyon Varlamov when he had some back spasms in Chicago and not able to be the backup goaltender on Tuesday night.
David Vandergooluk out with a concussion that you just don't know how long those are going to be. You may wonder why the Avalanche going 11 forward, 7 defensemen tonight, because double shifting O'Reilly or Duchesne down the middle or McKinnon. But they got young legs; they can do it. And with Johnson's back, like that's the one thing you never know when it's going to see. So Carl Stollery is back up with the Colorado Avalanche. He played one game, played about 11 minutes, went down. He's now back up with the Avs.
Jagr working along the far side wall. Duchesne bounced it off the boards. It comes down the slot, chopped away, and then flipped to the far side. Bounced out by McGinn at the center ice. Mark Fane brings the puck ahead. He'll jump up, get it himself, scoops it to the corner. Hader moves the puck behind the net for Johnson to take. 5 shots for the Devils, 4 for the Avs in the first period. 12:20 to go. No score. Pass tipped in by Jagr. Benoit sends the puck in front of his own net. And Holden looks for the outlet pass. Gets it up ice. Carried through the middle. Comes across for Benoit. His shot tipped wide of the net. McKinnon on it. Back behind for Landeskog. Works it back to the point. Slid across one-timer. McKinnon blocked it in front of the net and then was going to take a shot, but it slid away. And carried to center ice by Ryder. He'll shoot the puck to the corner. Benoit ties up his man. Ryder squeezes the boards by Holden. Then Clough had it for a moment. McKinnon breaks away with the puck. Has Mitchell to his right. Sprinting over the line, puts the brakes on. He turns and shoots, and Schneider's able to make the save. No rebound allowed. All right, let's take a look at who is in the groove. Brought to you by Groove Subaru, and nobody more groovy right now than Semyon Varlamov for the Avalanche.
Like his last loss in regulation, December 11th. That is a long time ago when you're that #1 goaltender getting as many starts as Varlamov right now. Hiller for the Anaheim Ducks are just on fire. Fleury for Pittsburgh, of course, he's plays a lot of Varlamov. 9 wins since the start of December, and just playing great hockey. All those guys on that list.
To the corner for Malone. Bordelot behind the net. Past that direction. He's got a man in front. Shot and score! Ryan O'Reilly's hot streak continues. But what a couple of nice plays behind the net from Malone and Bordelot, but O'Reilly in the right spot and his team leading 18th of the year.
Well, we've seen Duchesne, O'Reilly, McKinnon all centering this so-called 4th line in this first period. And we've seen it night after night. We've seen all the great plays that these guys, have made as far as hard hits, trying to turn the game around, trying to make good plays down low. They're plus hockey players, work hard, give that team that energy every night. And O'Reilly, as you mentioned, like that matches the most goals he's had in a season at 18. And we're just at game 47 for the Colorado Avalanche. There's a lot of hockey left.
The Avs draw first blood against the Devils. And up 1-0. Elliott carries the puck in. He turns, he shoots, had it blocked, tipped away. Pass to center ice for Cleach. Cuts in, pass across the slot.
Spectacular.
Tipped out to the center. Avalanche McLeod, Fleach, now buried. And he's got a man up ice. And the pass just a little too far to Spring Talbot for the breakaway. Circles the Devils' net. To the point, shot missing. Wide by McKinnon. Pass for Ryder. Skate out to center. And that puck is tipped into the Colorado bench out of play. And then a little shove towards Holden. That draws the crowd.
Oh, Mike, it's interesting. How many? Name the clubs in the league that have an instant identity. There's Boston, the Boston Bruins, big bad Bruins. There's Philadelphia and how they play.
You think of the Montreal Canadiens, flying Frenchmen and their speed and that kind of a team.
And then there's New Jersey. New Jersey and the defensive style of hockey they have played now for 2 decades. Ever since Jacques Lemaire came over from the Montreal Canadiens to coach them to first the conference finals against the New York Rangers in that incredible playoff series and then a Stanley Cup. That has been who the New Jersey Devils are.
Folks who don't know, they were formerly the Colorado Rockies, first NHL team here in Denver, and then moved out to New Jersey, and that's their franchise turned around after a little while, and a lot of that coincided with the arrival of Martin Brodeur. Well, we got some hitting going on. The puck comes through the middle. Sent across. Benoit's got it. You were there at that time, Peter.
I was there at that time. But Mike, you're not going to get the New Jersey Devils to take bad penalties. The least penalized club in the league. Great discipline. They'll hit, they'll bang, but they don't take needless penalties.
Just under 8 minutes, 7.8 minutes per game on average. That's all they take. Chance in front, kick, save, another beauty, and then a backhander off the side of the post. Yager has the puck. Pass back to the point. Carried down the wing by Green. Back against the far side boards. Yager doing his thing, protecting the puck. Dropped in the corner. Zajac. It's checked by Johnson, and Yager's pass to the point. Shot tipped away. Jaromir Jagr. 1,726 points in his career. And Peter, is there anybody in the league? Is there anybody, because in the history of the game, who could protect the puck better away from people?
It is absolutely a unique talent that he had, how he carried the puck. When you talk about the great players, Gretzky, Lemieux, Orr, they all had things that they did that no one else can do. Yager's got that unique ability. When he has the puck, you got to go around him to get it. And he has eyes in the back of the head, the old hockey phrase, sees everything and finds you forehand, backhand.
Tipped in. Ziglitsky spun it around, and then Salvador, captain for this Devils team. And a bounce pass to center ice. Gets Ryan Clough over the line. Broken up. Barry took it away for Colorado. He's tripped. That'll be a penalty on New Jersey. Talked about how rare those penalties are for the Devils, but the Avalanche are going to get a power play here in the first period. So for the Avalanche, they get the big goal from Ryan O'Reilly, and they lead this one 1-0 in the first period.
Well, Patrick Elias, after 7 games being out, Mike takes a penalty here. Mike, you know what he was out for? His injury was total body soreness. that's what they call it. So it was just, you know. But
That's a tough injury.
That's a tough injury to handle. But Jaromir Jagr, Mike, he has 1 shot tonight. He now has 4,999 shots. He'll become the 7th player to ever have 5,000 shots. The player with the most of all time, Ray Bourque. Over 6,000, 800 more than anybody else that ever played. He would just shoot, especially in the old Boston Garden before he came to Colorado. Like he would just shoot and shoot and shoot. Ray Bourque would just shoot all night long. He would get 10, 12, 15 shots at the net.
The thing is, Peter, his accuracy, putting it on net. Well, the app score on this power play. Lucky winner will get tickets to an upcoming game. For a chance to win, register at afwonline.com/altitude. the Avalanche on the power play. Elias for tripping at 12:20. Boys, the Avs power play have been good lately. Now you can see overall right now the Avs have moved up to 8th in the league at 20%. Look at the Avs in the last 8 games. They've got 9 power play goals in the last 8, 14 power play goals in the last 14 games. I mean, it's just been a team that has found a way to score those power play goals. And Peter, in the league right now, that it's tough to score. Those are just huge for the Avalanche.
Huge numbers, important goals. They've led to wins in various games. Like last game, they're 5 for 5 in the penalty kill, 2 for 4 in the power play.
And that overtime winner was a power play goal for Colorado.
And Mike, I don't care about percentages. Give me numbers. Give me 1 a game, and you will have a great power play season.
Cleared out by the Devils. Now you are facing a terrific penalty killing team in the New Jersey Devils. And the puck is held by Varlamov. Well, a face-off in the Colorado zone.
Yeah, and Mike, you look at various games. The Avalanche, none bigger than the last game, where you needed something. I mean, your penalty killing had to be good, but some offense, because Chicago played a really good hockey game. I mean, they're pinning the Avalanche in, but when they got their chances, they converted, and they came out with 2 points.
Cross-ice pass towards Mitchell was tipped, then slugged back out to center by New Jersey. Barry shoots the puck across for Benoit. Landeskog, Mitchell, McKinnon at forwards for the Avs on this power play. McKinnon drops the puck in the corner for Mitchell. Pass back to the point for Barry. Patient moves it around, back behind the net. Pushed to the corner for Landeskog. Slapped around. Benoit over the far side. Back to Benoit. Wines makes the pass for Barry. Has to curl back to the boards. Just a few seconds left to go in the penalty on Elias. Shot by Landeskog. Save. Rebound. There's a chance, but it was tipped away. What an opportunity there for the Avalanche. Elias is out of the box, so they have 0 for 1 on the power play. They just the 1 shot, but they also had a wide open opportunity that was tipped away.
But Mike, who was open by coming in aggressively from the point? Tyson Barrie again.
Slapped down the center by Eric Johnson. Quick pass across the middle. Elias squeezed into the boards by Cleach in Colorado. Backhand around Hayda and reverse behind the net in the Colorado zone. Cleach will chase the puck up the boards from McLeod. Out towards center ice. Scooped up by Talbot. Coming down the wall, McLeod. Puck towards Talbot. McLeod's got it. Slapped away from him. He gets knocked down. Right back up and after the puck. 4:45 remaining in the first. And the Avalanche with a goal from Ryan O'Reilly. Assisted by Patrick Wardlow and Brad Malone. And the Avalanche lead it 1-0 with that goal coming at 8:55. Doug Colton back to the puck. Dropped in the corner. Shot up the boards by Ryan Wilson. Out to center. Shane almost got the glove. Well, he had a quick little burst there. Glove was able to elude him and throw the puck across the rink. And Green to center. That pass hit the skate of O'Reilly. That's making things difficult in the neutral zone for New Jersey. Holden brings it up the boards. Close. Picks it off for the Devils. Going to work his way out in front. Prevented from doing that by Nick Holden. Pass comes to Duchesne. And his pass gets through for O'Reilly to take. Coming wide. Comes in wide of the net. Turned to the far side. Begins for the Avalanche. Took a hit trying to make it pass. But it comes out towards center for Ryder. He gets tangled up. Gets away. And Hayda broke it up momentarily. Slapped at. Shift to the far side. Back to the point for Salvador. His shot goes wide of the Avalanche net. Laid up ice for O'Reilly. Lobs the puck in. Grabbed by Mitchell. Down to a knee. Gets back up. Slides a nice pass through for McKinnon. But that's blocked and sent down the ice. Yager inches away from getting a breakaway chance.
He was right in behind everybody.
Pass from Yager. Taken away by Landeskog. Skates into the New Jersey zone. Going to work his way in front. One-handed towards the target. blocked by Schneider. And the pass goes off the far boards, lifted out to center ice. Under 3 minutes remaining in the first period. Down the middle, McKinnon followed up, but a bounce over the stick of Mitchell allows Jagr to push the puck ahead for Elias. Gives it back to Jagr. He shoots. The save made by Varlamov. And he covers for a face-off in the Avalanche zone. Avalanche lead 1-0 late in the first period. Did you know? Presented by Stevenson Automotive. Here's the question tonight. Which of these franchises has Jaromir Jagr not played for? Was it C1, Dallas, C2, Washington, or C3, Montreal? Text 53548 and your chance to win some tickets. We'll have an answer for you in the third period.
Of course, he started his career as a Pittsburgh Penguin and won a couple of Stanley Cups early in his career, but like he's been close, but hasn't won that third. He's just a hockey player. He loves to work out. He just loves to play the game. You have to have a burning desire inside of you to play till you're 41 years old.
Just about 42.
Yeah.
Backhanded behind the net. Barry will take it. Picked up, carried to center ice by Wilson. Hold on to the puck. Pops free. Back into the Colorado zone. Played off the boards by Barry. Back to the corner. Roll behind the net. And Cleese after it in the far corner. Reaching in Wilson. And he'll take the puck for the Avs. Mealy fires a pass up ice. Led out to center ice. Head by Cleese. Bounce back for Wilson. Crosses the red line and dumps the puck in and around the boards. Schneider out of the net to play it. Flag down in the corner by Talbot of Colorado. Turned up the far side wing. But Stollery had come down from the point to keep it in play. Finally comes free for Talbot to take. That's stripped away. And the New Jersey Devils breaking out of their own zone. Landeskog back checking, forced the play. Takes down back behind the net. Lukianov, number 21 for the Devils. He did a lot of work there to get that puck from one end to the other. Back to center ice.
Like they're using O'Reilly and Landeskog on the left side now with this Bortolo and Malone in the middle.
You're referring, of course, to the amount of forwards, the amount of defensemen the Avalanche are addressing.
Right. They have 11 forwards, 7 defensemen, so that there's extra ice time for some of the Avalanche players. But Mike, they're young. I mean, they can handle it.
Zubris fights his way to the front, but a good stop by Varlamov. Laid back to the point. Shot through a lot of traffic. Bounce to the corner. Up off the boards and out of the zone. And now it's a race. And McGinn will get to it. He gets bumped. The puck taken back by Jelena. Second in rookie points for defensemen in the league. Eric Jelena, number 22 for the Devils. He's got 18 points. Pass up ice. O'Reilly's got it for the Avalanche. He's surrounded. Puck comes free for McGinn. Dump in. Get down the last dozen seconds here. The first period of play. The puck comes free. O'Reilly had a chance. Poked away. Duchesne after it. Pass back to the point. Settled down. Johnson with a shot on target. And that save made by Schneider with 2 seconds to go in the period.
Well, Michael, we're starting to see it more and more for the Colorado Avalanche, especially on the forecheck. We're starting to see a wave of 3 guys coming into the zone that look so well coordinated. Patrick Roy has been working on this since the start of training camp. That forechecking pressure, everybody in their lane, everybody supporting, and you could start to see it on each and every line for the Avs.
Coach Roy has pulled his goaltender for an extra skater with 2.1 seconds left. Haight is up high by the blue line, but the face-off won by the Devils. That'll use up the rest of the time. So Coach Roy was going for it there. 2 seconds left, having taken the goaltender for an extra skater. Well, Peter, we saw first period in which Ryan O'Reilly had the only goal.
Set up by Bortolo and Malone. Good effort on that line by those 2 guys. But Mike, that's what you get from the New Jersey Devils. That was a well played, hard hitting, but you know, Only the one penalty in that period.
So the goal by Ryan O'Reilly. He leads the team with 18. Patrick Bordeleau, Brad Malone assisted at 8:55. Right now, that's the difference in the game. Next is the Toyota Intermission Report. Ryan O'Reilly from Patrick Bordeleau, Brad Malone. And the Avs lead it 1-0 at the end of the first period of play. Well, Ryan O'Reilly's got a long way to go to get to 695 goals. That's the amount of goals that Jaromir Jagr has, and then 1,726 points. So that seems like a lot. Where would that put him in the list in the National League history?
7th in goals and 7th in points. And again, when you're comparing things, we used to do with Joe Sakic, but the idea is who you're surrounded with. Well, Gretzky, Mark Messier. Look what they're all holding. They're all holding Stanley Cups. Gordie Howe, Ron Francis, without question the most underrated of the group. Marcel Dion, impossible to stop. What a great player. Well, Mike, go ahead, boo. You can boo for Steve Yzerman. And of course, Jaromir Jagr, who just...
Remember when you had that haircut, Peter?
Just passed that. Yeah, that was me. Mario Lemieux on the all-time point list. And Michael, here's the question that I give you. Did the 3 years, as you break it down of goals, assists, and points, did the 3 years where he went to the KHL and played 50 games in the KHL give him the energy to play the National Hockey League level now, or would numbers have just been unbelievable had he played, 80 games in the National Hockey League for 3 more years?
Yeah, those up. Where would that put him? Well, we start our second period of play. Avalanche up 1-0 over the New Jersey Devils. They like playing at home in those blue jerseys. 3-1-2 this season. And they've worn that 3rd jersey. Pass comes across, bouncing though on Mitchell. Earlier in this game, very early in the game, he rang one off a post. Dumped in by New Jersey. Coming back to get to the puck, Nick Holden. Makes the pass across. Up ice for McGinn. Slides it through for O'Reilly. Squeezed against the boards by Salvador. Got deep into the Jersey zone. Duchesne trying to take it off the board. Trying to work his way in front. Makes the pass over to O'Reilly. Slides it over the far point for Hayda. Back to O'Reilly. He's got some room to walk in. Makes a pass. Oh, it just slid away from McGinn. Back to center. Zajac. Hip check down by Hayda. Hayda lost his helmet on that hit. And McGinn carries into the New Jersey zone. Pass by Duchesne. Johnson jumping up. They have defenseman. Going to get away from Jelena. Taken down by Salvador. And then Zajac moves the puck up the boards. Held in by Hayda. He shoots. Save. And then the rebound to the corner. The puck comes free for Jelena to take. Upward pass for Zubras. They'll shoot the puck into the Colorado zone.
You're so conditioned now. When you see a player lose his helmet, you're almost going to a panic. It's hard to remember that for, a long time, players didn't wear helmets.
There's covered by the goaltender Schneider.
Well, for the Avalanche, Ryan O'Reilly right now he's just on fire offensively. As far as scoring goals for the Avalanche, there was the best of the bunch as far as a beautiful goal in Minnesota. The game winner, big one against Chicago tonight. He just chips it right up top. Great hands down low, Mike. And you see what he's doing now, why he's scoring. Everything is either right down low or absolutely up high. He's not hitting the goaltender in this chest protector, not hitting it in the hands, right up top with everything.
Puck covered by Schneider. And another face-off in the New Jersey zone. We're early in the second period. Back in the first, O'Reilly from Bordeleau and Malone at 8:55. Had only 1 penalty called in this game. That was going on New Jersey. The Avs weren't able to score on that power play. McKinnon. Talbot. McLeod. Talbot moves in to take the face-off. Pulled back behind the net. Pushed up the far wing. Passed out the center. Scoop back and carried over the line. McLeod coming wide. He turns, he shoots. Big save made by Schneider. Bernier makes the pass to center ice. Chipped in for Elias, but the puck has gone out of play.
Well, Semyon Varlamov, if you look at wins this season, Mike, it's remarkable to think last year in 35 games he lost 21. This year in 36 games he's won 22. And it has just been, you know, how much Mike, do you take into account that the season just fell apart for the Avalanche last year and everyone was going to be sucked in with that whole sort of, you know, the way that it finished up, or, you know, individual players just responding, and he has just been a better goaltender this year, and really, like, I mean, night after night, the consistency is so impressive.
Giving the Avs a chance to win every game when you get that record of 9-0-5 in your last 14 starts. Off the side of the net. Litsky keeps it around the boards. Scooped after center ice by Gianta. Towards the corner. Dropped along the boards. Carter. Pushed by Malone. Put the puck behind the net. Carter gets the handoff. Skates towards the corner. Malone on him. And a hit by Stollery. And the puck squeezed free and carried up ice by Erik Johnson. He's got Cleach with him. He shoots. That one comes across. Bordeaux takes it off the boards. Flings it back behind the net. Litsky scooped it back for Bryce Salvador. And the New Jersey Devil defenseman sends it up the middle. Bad pass. McKinnon shoots and misses. Going for the rebound. Chopped at and hit out by Schneider. Oh, what a chance for McKinnon to bury one on that giveaway pass by the Devils.
This is one of those plays, Mike, where you're going to say, what was Salvador looking at? Well, what he was looking at was a play that was set up, Mike, and McKinnon was coming right off the bench. And he kind of slipped in behind the Devil player. And you can see Salvador, whoa, where did you come from? And the kid just blasted wide. That is not a mistake that the New Jersey Devils make off of nothing. Mike, usually it's up the wall and that good solid first pass to get out of the zone.
Well, McKinnon with his speed really had a chance, Peter, to almost get this one in on the rebound.
He almost bounced that one off of Schneider and into the net. Schneider, Mike, has been, you're talking about a guy that's been snake bit. For the New Jersey Devils, when Schneider's been in nets, they've averaged 1.69 goals per game. When Marty's been in nets, 2.91. So they've been shut out 5 times this year. Schneider's been in nets for 4 of those shutouts.
Peter, why don't we check out tonight's Coors Light Cold Hard Facts.
It will forever, in my mind, be the debate. Who was the greatest of all time? I think you and I are both on record, Mike. We think Patrick Roy.
Said it earlier tonight. Yeah. Patrick Roy is the best goaltender that ever played.
But those that would go with Martin Brodeur certainly have a very solid argument for Martin Brodeur.
Holden keeps the puck across. Bounce back across to the near side. Landeskog pulling away back to the point. Holden wrist shot. That hit a body in front. Fane of New Jersey, and then springs out of play.
Yeah, Mike, let's go back to one of the great series of goaltenders of all time. It went 7 games, and both goaltenders had moments inside of that series where they were absolutely unbeatable. But I think the one period that won the Stanley Cup for the Colorado Avalanche, period 1, game 6 in New Jersey.
With the Avs down 3-2 in the series.
Yeah, and I think it was 15-4. Adam Foote scored a late goal to give the Avalanche a 1-0 lead in a period where they easily could have been down 2-3-zip.
At center ice, Duchesne pushes the puck back for Johnson to take. Makes the pass across through the middle. Off of Elias in New Jersey, back into the Colorado zone. Hayden rims it around. Stopped with a skate by O'Reilly. Chipped out to center ice. Pushed across for Andy Green. The Devil defenseman slams the puck in. Dyna Dubras bumped in the corner. Jágr has the puck. Protected as he walks up the wall. Makes the pass. Zajac back to Jágr. Poke checked away by Johnson. Back behind, and Yager again with the puck for New Jersey. Johnson sends him into the board. Pass up the middle. Merrill has the puck for New Jersey. Makes a nice play to keep it in. Sends it behind the net and Hayden on it. Rolls it around the boards, and that's going to be an icing call. So an Avalanche group that's been out there a little while going to have to stay. Why don't we check in ringside? Here's Julie Browman.
Hey guys, well, at 41 years old, Martin Brodeur hasn't officially said that he wants to retire. When asked about when he knew it was time for him to retire, Patrick Roy said he called Ray Borg, asked when he'll know it. Ray Borg replied, "Don't worry, you'll know when it's time." Now, Roy said he finally knew for sure at 37 when his tank was mentally and physically depleted, and only Brodeur could make that decision. But Brodeur has talked about his mind he wants to play again, but it just so happens to see if his body can do it next season. Guys.
Thank you very much. Brodeur's record this year, 26 games played, 13 wins, 9 losses, 4 losses in overtime or shootouts.
Would he entertain a trade? Because obviously he's playing well. He has the experience.
Want to go for another cup?
Exactly. Is there that team out there that would like to make Martin Brodeur that go-to guy come playoff time?
Dumped in from center by Colorado. Got 14 minutes, 15 seconds still to go in the second period. Devils with the puck in the Avs zone. Pass in the slot, shot by Jelena. And that is tipped out of play. Luxury has an address. Cooney Lexus invites you to see the full line of Lexus all-weather drive sedans and luxury utility vehicles for 2014. Available at Cooney Lexus of Greenwood Village and Colorado Springs.
New Jersey starting to get some opportunities in the Avalanche zone. Like their defensemen starting to creep in a little bit farther to get more involved offensively.
Back in around for Talbot. And the puck ends up going back down the ice. Another icing call on the Avalanche.
I was watching the game last night, Mike, and one of the most unusual games you're going to see. But Anaheim, are they the hottest team in the National Hockey League right now, or what? They are undefeated at home. No regulation losses at home this season. 20-0-2. They beat Vancouver 9-1 in that game.
Well, the Avalanche won't see them until the very end.
Good.
Dumped in. Jelena back. Another icing call on the Avalanche.
But the reason we bring it up, Mike, look at this. Since the start of the new year, December 31st, Anaheim, who's just beats everybody, and they're just, especially at home, 16 points. The Avalanche next 13, the Islanders and St. Louis, 12 apiece. So this, it shows you how the Avalanche they're just getting points. They're finding ways in every game to get at least a point, and they've won a couple in overtime to get 2.
Schneider pushes the puck away. Slapped out to center. Carter shoots it ahead. Slapped at center ice by Jelena, followed up by Carter. Tipped across through the neutral zone. And Barry will spin away with possession. The far side circle, Ryan Wilson's pass through the middle. Tipped by McLeod deep into the Devil zone. Played around the wall with Carter. He runs into Barry. Who is pinched in, got a man in front, the shot and the save, rebound. And that's blocked by Schneider as well. There was another example of that with Barry, that time not shooting, but making a nice pass when he got involved.
And you have to keep doing it. That is one thing about being that offensive defenseman.
Johnson worked his way by Salvador. Kept it at the point. Hayden chops it wide. Waiting near side half where Johnson's shot misses. Hayden on the far point. Slapped it back behind the Devil net. Mitchell checked by Elias. Breaks free. Pushed the puck to the point. Hayden winds and looking for a tip from McKinnon. They couldn't connect. Carter flags down the puck. Shoots it out to center to Walker. Holden of the Avs. Then Yager got that pass through somehow for Elias. Cut off in front of the Colorado net by Holden. Long pass for Mitchell. Back for Holden. Sends it across for Hayden. Back to the neutral zone, and Mitchell over the line with the puck, trailed by Landeskog. His pass towards Landeskog was knocked down, and then Fane for New Jersey. He's from behind the net with the puck. Makes the pass across for Zuber. Into the Avs zone, but proceeded over the line, so the Devils are offside. Avs continue to lead this game. It's 1-0 Colorado in the second.
Well, for Tyson Barrie, his first 2-goal game in the National Hockey League, this is how he has to play. As this puck is coming up the wall, we stop it right here. Here he is right here. Right there. And he just comes up the wall, stays in. Now, Mike, you're trusting people are going to be behind you. You're trusting that guys are going to give you support. But every once in a while, we talked about this before, Mike, you're going to get burnt on a play. You're going to have to trust your defensive partner to take a 2-on-1 occasionally. It's like a relief pitcher in baseball. You have to keep doing it. If you get burnt once and they happen to score, that can't be the end of the game for you. You've got to obviously be smart. You don't want it to happen, but you have to keep bringing that to the team, because that's what they're starting to count on from Tyson Barrie, that he's going to be that extra attacker on plays.
Green trying to clear the zone. A little pressure from Duchesne. O'Reilly pushed the puck around the boards. Peter just saw that the next opponent for the Avalanche, which will be the Nashville Predators on Saturday night in Nashville, they just won their game in a shootout against the Philadelphia Flyers. So the Predators just made a trade for a goaltender, and they get a win tonight in a shootout over Philadelphia.
For Avalanche fans, of course, you'll know about it. Dubnyk, the goaltender for Edmonton, traded to Nashville. You know, it doesn't speak necessarily well of Pekka Rinne and his recovery from his injuries. But Dubnyk, I mean, he goes from a club that is really not good defensively to one of the best defensive clubs in the NHL. Now Dubnyk gets a chance to really show what he can do.
The Avalanche will face Nashville Saturday night in Tennessee. Let's make a one-game road trip. Next home game for the Avs will be next Tuesday night against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sedlitsky, cross-ice pass for Clough. He winds, he shoots, save made by Varlamov. That one came up off the stick and then into the chest. McLeod coming wide. Swings the pass behind the net for Talbot. And finally reaching for the puck, Salvador. Looked it out to center ice. Cleese trying to clear the zone. And there's going to be a penalty on Cleese. Took down Henry. And so when we return at Pepsi Center midway through the second period, New Jersey will get their first turn to go on the power play.
Well, Cleese goes to the box. The Avalanche kill off their first penalty of the tonight's game, Mike. As we take a look at the penalty, just kind of gets caught in a bad position. The puck should have gone out of the zone. It didn't, and that's when bad things happen for the Colorado Avalanche or any hockey club. But when you're looking at Jágr, Mike, you've got a situation where, okay, does he still have that instinct to be the man on the power play? And he obviously does. So that's where it's going to center. It's going to center on him having the puck, other people rotating, moving around, getting open for Jágr.
Well, he's had 48 points in 37 career games against the Avalanche. As Talbot chases the puck. Sedlitsky slides it back out to center. Pass back for Holden. So power play, number 1 of the game for New Jersey. They're 8th best in the league on the power play when on the road. For the Avalanche, boy, that's been another. Talked about their power play, but their penalty killing has been so good lately. Only 3 power play goals against in the last 9 games.
Yeah, it's like any sport. You want to win those specialty team battles, and the Avalanche have been doing that consistently.
Elias gets in over the line, makes the pass, gets to the corner. 9 minutes left in the period. 1 minute to go, and the Cleese penalty off for tripping, called at 10:03. Merrill's pass up ice. There is Jaromir Jágr receiving the pass. Back to the point for Zelenoff. Split across for Merrill. Zelenoff one-timer. Got it blocked by O'Reilly. Chipped it by him. Now it's a race. O'Reilly tripped. And the It's only a tipping on. Too far out for a penalty shot.
He hadn't separated enough. He was close. One more stride, and it might have been a much tougher call. But there has to be some separation between yourself and the man that you pull down. But you could see what O'Reilly was thinking. Like, you could read his mind on this play. He chipped it just far enough ahead. You see, Mike, they never really broke contact. The man on him. Certainly it was a penalty, but usually when you get that penalty shot, Mike, you get that foot or so of a few feet ahead, and you pull a guy down.
You think that's the way it should be? I mean, there's a chance O'Reilly is going to probably get a breakaway, but you think the rule is he just didn't have enough room to make it a clear breakaway chance.
Exactly. It's supposed to stop a breakaway opportunity, and now you're guessing that the guy couldn't have stayed up with O'Reilly on the play, and there's a lot of gray area there.
All right, Jelena for tripping, 11:27. All three of the penalties in this game have been tripping penalties. New Jersey had gone 9.5 minutes in this period without a shot when they finally got one at 9:29. Now we're going 4-on-4 hockey. Pass up ice for McKinnon. One-on-one situation with Merrill. Back to pass. The backhander by Landeskog goes wide. Oh, what a chance there for Landeskog.
Talk about rolling your wrist with just that little aerial.
Now a power play chance for Colorado. Their second of the game. They're 0 for 1 tonight. Gianta pushed away from the puck by Wilson. And Duchesne trying to reach in. Still a minute left to go in the Jelena penalty. Duchesne first out and makes the pass for McGinn. Pulls up, waits, finds Duchesne. He's over the line, cutting back towards the boards. Pass to Holden, slides it across for Johnson. Adds on the power play. Shot comes wide. Duchesne off the boards. Near side half boards for O'Reilly. Looking left, he made the pass to the right for Duchesne. Back to the point, shot by Johnson. Glove save, and he's covered by the goaltender, Corey Schneider.
Now let's take you to a play that happened just a second or so ago. McKinnon with the speed. Now, what you like here is, Mike, he doesn't break into full speed right there. It's just a little change of pace, takes a little bit off the speed, Mike, so that he can time it to make the pass across to Landeskog. And here's the last opportunity for the Avalanche. Johnson getting that puck through. The Avalanche doing what you're supposed to, Mike. 3 guys down low following the shot, including the offside defenseman.
You like that play a few minutes ago? We didn't show it there on the replay. O'Reilly looking to his left back of the point and makes the pass to his right.
It's great, but you know.
New center Duchesne over the line. The corner McGinn, then behind the net. Turned off the boards. Elias flicks it out to center. Time running out in this power play chance for Colorado. Pass on the line for Johnson. His pass blocked. Jelena out of the box, pushes the puck up ice. McGinn ties up Jelena, passes over the line. Duchesne's got O'Reilly going down the middle. Pass in the slot. McGinn shot blocked. And a fight for the puck. O'Reilly shot. Backhander tip on that chance by McGinn. Oh, big collision on the boards in the New Jersey zone. Avalanche with the puck in the neutral zone. Flipped it in by O'Reilly. Steal by Barry. His pass just off the boards with the puck. McLeod, the shot is blocked. Rebound. Mitchell's got it. Pass. Dribbles back towards the point. Settled down by Barry. The side of the net. Backhand and centering try by McLeod. All the way back to the point. Benoit behind the net for McLeod. And another penalty on New Jersey. Talbot had his stick slapped out of his hand. Varlamov on his way to the bench. Barry with the puck. The pass tipped on goal. The save. The puck is still free. Barry behind the net with it. And he lost an edge. Goes down to the ice. And the Devils touch the puck. But the Avalanche are going to get another power play opportunity. They lead the game 1-0. They'll be back in a moment with a man advantage.
Like great action. You know, it's 1-0, 15 5 minutes, 18 seconds remaining in this second period, but there's been good work, good action, good offense. Guys jumping up into the play. Jamie McKinnon, good opportunity right there. Playing on the right side here with O'Reilly and Duchesne. And I mean, that's just good, hard hockey right there as it comes across. Here's the penalty. And this is that time in the game, Mike, where the Avalanche really need to, this needs to be their most desperate power play. You're going at this one. You want to make it 2-0 going into the third period against a club that, like, only 4 clubs have scored fewer goals than New Jersey.
Duchesne with a blast and off the glass. It goes high, back to the point. Duchesne again, feeds it to Benoit, slides it across. Andre Otianov in the penalty box for slashing at 14:42. Schneider makes the glove save. Putting the Avs on the power play for the 3rd time. There he is. Otianov. Mitchell against Travis Zajac. Avs win the draw. Comes across for Duchesne to the middle of the circle. John Mitchell moving in. Cross ice pass and escape. Comes back to Duchesne at the point. To the point for Benoit. He shoots through some traffic. Gets tipped to the corner. Duchesne banked it for Landeskog. Around for McKinnon. Fed back for Benoit. Dancing along the blue line. Back to McKinnon. And his pass intended for Landeskog was tipped. And Zubras carries the puck to center. But he is stripped from behind by McKinnon. And he speeds in. Cuts to the near boards. Pass back for Duchesne. Slid across. Johnson just came onto the ice. To the corner for Landeskog. Pass in the middle. Slide ball back to Duchesne. He's in. He shoots. And that one went off the post. Duchesne gets the puck again. 40 seconds left. Able to feather a pass across. Johnson swings over to Landeskog. He shoots, and that almost seemed to surprise Schneider. I don't know if he saw that, but his reaction, Peter, as he made the save, indicated he didn't really see it coming.
Probably through a screen, Mike. We don't have a great angle on it from up here, but it hit him high. It hit him high, and I'm sure this one stung. As Landeskog, he's got what hockey people call a heavy shot. It comes through in a hurry, but here's Duchesne earlier. Like when it's not going in, it's not going in. We saw him hit the post last game. We saw him hit the post now. It's just that close.
30 seconds left in this power play. Avs so far with 3 shots plus the post. O'Reilly's pass broken up. The Devils with a chance. Henrik down the middle makes a nice move, but Varlamov played it great. Boy, did he come out and cut that angle down. Pass comes out to center. You're talking about aggressive goaltending.
But as I first look at Henrik is a very talented young offensive player for the New Jersey Devils. His rookie year was Landeskog's rookie season, and he got a lot of consideration for that Calder Trophy.
Go by Carter. Pass to center. Gianta. Side of the net. Bernier tied up. And back to even strength for the Avalanche with 22 shots in this game. 11 for the Devils. Devils almost went the first half of this period without a shot. The Avalanche, a 1-0 lead. The Avs 10 more shots in this period than the Devils.
And again, this is where that patience, Mike, you have to have it. The Devils are still very much in this game. You get lots of shots, but you're not scoring. I mean, good defensive system, good goaltending. They're one play away, so you got to stay with it.
Wilson picks it up. You've already had 3 power play chances against New Jersey, Peter. Chances are you're not going to get many more, are you?
No, they're a disciplined hockey club.
Hit by Wilson on Flo. Flo retaliates. They just skate away from each other. It's Holden able to field the puck. Pushes across for Benoit. Up the center, bounces in. Slugged the other way by Jelinov. Back to the Avalanche blue line. Pass up the middle. Tip by McLeod. And Schneider handles the puck, swings it around, and at the point, back down the board. McLeod in the corner for Talbot. Pass in front for Mitchell. It was tangled up. Benoit puts the puck behind the net. Look back to the corner. Pass into center ice. Talbot for the Avalanche. Give it to Mitchell. Got McLeod with him. Bounced it deep. McLeod puts the hit on in the corner. Zajac gets the pass at center. Fires it in. Didn't hit anything, so it's an icing call against the New Jersey Devils with 1:03 left.
We talked about it. Mike, he's just 23 years old, Adam Henrique. His rookie year, Mike, how great is that? Would that be? He went all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. 4 playoff series. You learn so much inside of those playoff series. A rookie, and there's no better treat for your career than getting a long playoff run early.
Other than the fact that McLeod happens every year.
Oh yeah, well, there's a lot of that, and all of a sudden you turn around 7 years later, you haven't even been close. You know, it is one thing. I've always heard teams that have a lot of veteran players versus younger players. The veteran players take it maybe a little more seriously because they say, wait a minute, I haven't been here before, guys. Don't think we're coming back here every year.
Don't take it for granted.
Yep.
Sure. Time running out in our second period. The Avs continue to lead the game. 1-0 O'Reilly from Bordelot. Malone at 8:55 in the first. And they've had 2 power play chances in the second period. Devils have had 1. And the score hasn't changed from the start of the period. Zubris crossing over the line. Tied up behind the net by Hayden. Then Duchesne backhands it around. Held in by Green into the slot. Bianca in the pass back to the point for Green. He shoots, and O'Reilly came out to put the pressure on and tips the puck out of play.
Like I would be really interested as we watch this play, Mike. Look at in front. All the guys down low. Great job. How many more pucks are tipped than used to be tipped? By that mirroring the stick, as they say, where you put, as the man's coming across stick handling, you put your stick right on the puck. It may not be right, you know, maybe 6-8 inches away, but you're right on it. And we see so many of them ramp right up into the screen.
Devils have the puck. Low, push the puck behind the net. And in the final seconds of the second period. And Landeskog gates the center as the horn sounds, and we finish the second period of play. Well, no goals to talk about. Play opportunities. Again, both goaltenders were solid during that second period.
And Schneider, who, as we talked about at the start of the show, 6-1-1 against the Avalanche, lots of confidence, but he's got to be thinking, come on, guys, just give me one. Give me something to work with here, you know, because he has played another solid game for New Jersey.
40 minutes of hockey in Denver. And the Avalanche, with a goal from O'Reilly back in the first period, continue to lead the game 1-0 over the New Jersey Devils. Stay tuned. Next on Altitude, the Subaru Intermission Report. Colorado Avalanche Hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Groove Subaru on Broadway or online at grooveauto.com. Pepsi, live for now. And by the Ford Explorer. It's time you did your exploring. Ford Explorer, go further. No change in the score from the beginning of the second period to the beginning of the third as the Avalanche continue to lead this one 1-0. They outshot the Devils 13-2 during the second period. Those 2 shots allowed were the fewest allowed this season in a period against the Avalanche. But the Avs could not increase their lead, Peter, even though they had plenty of scoring chances.
Hey, good pressure, good scoring chances. Schneider was excellent in that second period. And when you're looking at the chances for the Avalanche, you like what you're seeing. Lots of bodies in front, lots of drive towards the net, lots of, you know, those situations. But this is a New Jersey Devil club that will hang around. They will stay in games. They work hard. They've worked hard here tonight. Like, and these are the kind of games for a guy like Nathan MacKinnon, like, everything is a learning experience. Every single game is a learning experience. And he is the, you know, he's at center tonight. Patrick Roy has been using him on the right side for pretty much exclusively since the start of the season. And, after the Avalanche got some injuries, especially the injury to Tanguay. But now he's back at his natural position, center ice, getting good ice time. But Mike, you can't cheat. You can't get impatient. You can't look for that long bomb pass. You're up by one. Defense first in the third period.
You're playing with the lead in the third period with a goaltender that right now is going as well as any goaltender in the league.
You get caught out of position, you're not doing the right things for your hockey club.
As have the puck as we begin our third period in Denver Pepsi Center. Puck comes off the boards, and Mitchell almost reached that in time to get a chance. Devils, though, Jagr moves the puck to center. Cross for Zajac. Slides it ahead. It goes towards the net, covered by Varlamov.
Well, you think, Mike, we talk about the Western Conference. The Eastern Conference is ridiculous. When you look at the standings in the East, Mike, there are 9 teams coming into tonight's game. 9 teams between 47 and 53. A 6-point spread, Mike. 4 playoff spots are up for grabs. That means 5 of those clubs are going to be on the outside looking in. What is trade deadline going to look like in the Eastern Conference? See the 2 clubs right now. New Jersey is a couple points behind Washington, and it is just going to be awful down the stretch.
In the corner, Bernier for the Devils. Talbot on him. Puck rolls behind the net for Gianto. Trying to make something happen, trying to get away from Barry. Carter takes the puck for the Devils. To the point for Salvador. Shot behind the net for Bernier. Works it for Carter. Reversing. Turns and shoots wide. And the puck rims around and is out of the zone. Back into the Devil end.
Like, one of the things we haven't talked about is the fact that Ilya Kovalchuk, their outstanding, and I mean superstar player, decided to retire from the National Hockey League.
Ryder backhander. That's stopped. And the rebound picked up and carried to center by Duchesne's got a man with him to his right. That's McGinn trying to slide it that way. Shoots the save by Schneider. Rebound. Back behind the net. Wraparound try by Duchesne. Got away. Passed out to center for Clough. Sends it over the line. Green back for Clough. O'Reilly. A little pressure on him. Puts the puck free, and that one is shot by everybody. It'll be an icing call on the Avalanche.
Let's look at chant for both the hockey clubs. Good work by the New Jersey Devils. We said they just keep coming at you. We talked about the fact that Kovalchuk had retired. As we go to the other way, Duchesne, the puck kind of comes back to him, and he gets another good opportunity. So the Devils don't have that go-to guy on offense.
Covered by Varlamov. But you said they're a patient team.
Yep.
They will wait and hope that the other team makes a mistake and capitalize on it.
If you want to turn this into a different game than it is, you're going to be in trouble. This is a low-scoring, hard-fought, in-the-trenches game.
Pass comes up for Mitchell. Slid out to center for Landeskog. Pushes his way in. And the puck chased down by Elliott. Bounce to the head. Jagr slides it out to center. Carried in wide, and the shot is tipped out of play. You can win Avalanche tickets, compliments of Xcel Energy. Get your power meter number and go to altitude.tv. Click on the Xcel Energy icon for energy saving tips and enter for a chance to win. No purchase is necessary. You can see official rules at altitude.tv. After the faceoff, Avalanche on the puck. Bordeleau. Big assist in this game. Long pass for Wilson. Slide it through from Malone. Wilson down deep into the New Jersey zone. Devils move out to center with the puck. Pushed ahead. Knocked down by Barry. Pass to the side of the net. Rolls free. There's going to be a penalty. Wilson and Zubris at the side of the net. And Wilson's getting called for the penalty. It'll be a power play coming up for the New Jersey Devils.
Colorado 44, 2 minutes cross check.
It's always funny, Mike. Every once in a while, my hockey instincts sort of take over. I'm thinking, it's not a penalty. In the front of the front of the net, that's what happens in front of the net. But the rules have all changed in so many different areas. But that used to be standard fare. When Scott Stevens was for the New Jersey Devils, you didn't even go there. You would not even go there unless you were like silly or you were really brave.
Scott Stevens now an assistant coach with the New Jersey Devils. Pass to center for Zajac. Poke check to Talbot's going to get a breakaway chance perhaps, but Zidlik is doing his best to keep that from happening. In fact, takes Talbot into the corner. Pass up ice for Jágr. Zajac shoots it wide of the net. Flat, but not out. Zidlitsky makes the pass for Green. Jágr circles behind the net. Centering pass came back to Jágr, slides it out in front. That's tipped away. Back to the point for Green. Sent across. Elias below the circle pass for Jágr. Back for Elias to Jágr. Pass in front, tipped, blocked, not cleared out though. Green holds it in. Pass across for Jágr. Shot save made by Varlamov. Rebound, loose puck, tap behind the net for Elias. Throws it across, back to the point for Green. Shot, another save by Varlamov. Back to the point, Green, another drive. That's stuffed by Varlamov. And he covers the puck and then throws the puck in the corner. 4 shots in the first minute and a half of this power play for New Jersey, but Varlamov doing his job.
A couple of different looks as far as the kind of shots. A couple of point shots coming in, but also a couple of shots from down low earlier. There's another look at it.
That go through the legs of Hayda?
Through the legs of Hayda. I mean, talk about through a screen, right through the guy's legs.
After he made that save, you see he just took that puck and threw it in the corner. After the whistle had been blown. Merrill lifts the puck in. To the point for Merrill. Split across. Jelena. Glove save by Varlamov. 2 seconds away from coming out of the box, Ryan Wilson.
Well, coaches always talk about this. If you're not going to score in the power play, do you at least get some offensive momentum? And I think you can safely say that the New Jersey Devils got some good opportunities, got some good looks. Varley had his best sequence of this hockey game, so let's see how that works for the Devils.
Coming out to center, Duchesne. Working his way in, shoots and misses the net. Held in at the point by Benoit. Waiting behind the net, Duchesne. Taken away by Merrill of New Jersey. Makes the pass. Well, the Avs did kill the penalty. Varlamov had to have several sparkling saves, but the Avs did it. New Jersey 0 for 2 tonight with power play chances.
Good.
Pass between the circles for Fane. Gets it to the corner, around, back behind the net. Bumped around to the far side for McGinn. Shot out to center. And pushed into the Devils bench by Salvador. The puck has gone out of play.
The numbers just keep creeping up and up for Semyon Varlamov as far as, you know, his ranking around the National Hockey League. There was last year, Michael, you know, the difference for Varlamov. And, you know, I mean, we talked about a couple of things technically that have changed, but he just, like he's just at 25, just seems to have found that goaltending style that's perfect for him.
That went off the cleats and then wide of the net. Just like any player, Peter, as that confidence grows, you just feel better and better every game. Well, the Avalanche up 1-0 here in the third period. 14:07 left to go. The The shot for New Jersey creeping up. Now they're at 18, helped out on that power play opportunity. Face-off control, Avs with a shot by Landeskog, had it blocked. Barry, pass across for Wilson. Just under 14 minutes left in our third period. 1-0 Avalanche. Jagr pass through the middle. Pass across for Zajac. Down the middle, there's a chance. Big save by Varlamov. Wow, what a save. Breakaway chance there, and Varlamov robbed him to the point. Merrill slid across for Zajac. His shot tipped to the corner. Elliott with a chance coming off the boards. Runs into Landeskog, goes down to the ice. Mitchell couldn't clear. Kept in by the Devils. Green one-handed to the corner. Back behind the net. Swung back around. Mitchell lifts the puck up and out. In a race for the puck. No icing. Green hustles back. What a play by O'Reilly. Knocked it down, faked the shot, gave it back to Duchesne. Bouncing puck, Duchesne circles behind the net. Center, O'Reilly shot, saved by Schneider. Rebound up the slot. Holden keeps it in. Smacks it behind the net for Duchesne. Looking to make a play. Curls back behind the net. Comes out, turns and shoots. The save by Schneider. The loose puck is covered by the goaltender. And Schneider certainly doing his job, but on the other end, what a chance for Elliott, and the big time save by Varlamov.
Well, for Ryan O'Reilly, like these, you don't want to say he practices this, but he works so hard on the hand-eye coordination drills that he does after every practice, and in and around in the summers he works on these kind of plays that led to these opportunities for the Avalanche. They were all around the Devils. They had them running out of position. There were 4 Devils down low, but they couldn't keep the Avalanche contained. And Duchesne, again, another shot. He's had the post, he's had shots, he's had everything except being able to put it behind Schneider.
After that timeout, Duchesne out on the ice. Again for the face-off, taken by the Devils. Poke to the corner. Benoit takes the puck. Shoots it around the wall. The puck comes free. Benoit's pass to center. And Duchesne twist away, get free. Up ice for O'Reilly. Off the boards. Back for Duchesne. He gets checked. Fights off a hit. Makes a pass. It's picked off. It's shipped off the boards by Zalitsky. And the puck has gone out of play. And if you're looking for a great car, don't go any further than the all-new Kias at ColoradoKiaDealers.com, and you'll see a full lineup from Kia of high quality. They're stylish, they're dependable. Find them all at ColoradoKiaDealers.com.
Mike, watch this play by Duchesne. This is really interesting. He's just sort of his own version of Peter Forsberg. He loses the puck, but then he goes up and flips the man over.
That's great.
But I mean, again, 23 now. Growing into that NHL body, you can just feel the strength that he has that he didn't have 2-3 years ago.
Devils have the puck. Just under 12 minutes left in the third. Pass up ice. Icing call on the Devils.
We'll see with Patrick Roy, 4th line on the ice right now. Now Patrick, this is the line, Mike, except for Cleach, where there was O'Reilly was on, that has the 1 goal for the Avalanche, set it up, and this is good confidence in this line. This is the kind of thing that you're looking at the bench and the coach says, no, you're out there, you do the job.
Barry down to the ice, trying to free up the puck. Goes to Zubras. Pass to the point for Merrill. Behind the slot for Zelenoff. Back over to Merrill. Leishon Him. Behind to Zubras. Pass to the corner for Boucher. With a pile of players in the corner. Back to the point for Zelenov. Gets around Bordeleau. Pass to the high slot. To the cross and scored on the one-timer. Loktionov unloaded the shot to beat Varlamov for the first time in this game. And we are tied at 1.
I think it hit the New Jersey Devil man in front and just chipped beside Varlamov. But good passing. Mike, did you go back to the power play for the New Jersey Devils where they started to get some momentum, they started to get some shots on goal, and because that was a real nice set play.
And it was Reed Boucher right in front of the net.
Yes.
On the replay, it looked like it did go off his chest and in. Here's the key of scoring summary. For now, I think it's going to be changed. Loktionov gets credit for the goal, but on review, that'll be Boucher's goal. And there's your key of scoring summary for the Devils. Game-tying goal here in the third period.
Well, let's go back to the goal, and again, you're going to see the New Jersey Devils just moving that puck around. Good positioning in front, screen the goaltender. They did an awful lot of things well. The Avalanche had bodies down low. They're trying to block that shot, but they coughed it up behind the net to start the play, which led to that movement for the New Jersey Devils and ultimately the game-tying goal.
Well, we're tied up at 1. Devils, who had just 2 shots in the second period, have already had 10 here in the third period. Smacked out to center. Chipped ahead for Duchesne. Works his way in. Poke check from behind. Elias pass for Jagr. Given back to Elias. To Jagr. Shot. Glances across. Dropped behind the net. Jagr tipped it to the corner for Elias. Into the slot. And off the stick of McGinn and out. Now we're halfway through the third period. Pass out through the middle for Clough. Shot into the Colorado zone. Holden finds Benoit. Hammers that one down the ice. And Colorado called for icing.
Well, one thing for the Avalanche, Mike, and we've watched it now since really the homestand, since the 7-2 game win for Chicago. Every game has been a 1-goal game. There was a 1-2-goal game in there, but every other one, except for a couple empty net goals, was a 1-goal game. So they're used to being in this situation.
Off the glass, side of the net. Shot saved by Varlamov. Picked up by Mitchell. Out to center ice. Pushed in. Off the boards and out to center ice. In fact, went off the linesman. Low. And off Henry. Across the rink. Zelenov winds and shoots it high. And the puck rims around. Came out of the zone. That's an offside play on the Devils. And we'll be back. The Devils here in the third period have tied this game at 1. Let's answer the did you know question that we asked you in the first period. Which of these franchises has Jaromir Jagr not played for? Montreal would be the answer. Played for a number of teams. Here's the list.
Sort of a reverse order. Pittsburgh, Washington, Rangers, Philly, Dallas last year. I think that's probably one way people might have forgotten, even though it was a Western Conference. But before joining the Boston Bruins for their Stanley Cup run last year, which fell just a couple of games short.
And he is going to play this year in his 5th Olympics. McLeod, his shot was tipped away as Fane came back to break that up. Devils have the puck. Put in. Boucher down the middle. Tip to the corner. Punch back behind the net for Boucher. Pass to the high slot. Zelenov. Merrill. Shot. And that one went off for Tyson Barrie and out of play. Time for What's on Tap, brought to you by Coors Light. Saturday, Avalanche back in action. They'll be going to Nashville to play the Predators. And we'll start our coverage at 5:30 on Saturday nights right here on Altitude Sports.
Interesting turnaround in this third period. 11-3 shots on goal for New Jersey in this third period after the Avalanche totally dominated the second.
O'Reilly to center with McGinn. Pass to McGinn. He shoots high. Duchesne shoots off the side of the net. O'Reilly chasing the puck. Duchesne to McGinn. Cross for O'Reilly, stepping around one man, but then lost the puck. They jack to center with Yager. He'll catch up to the puck in the corner. Pass front. That got blocked, ricocheted across. That shot hit Orlomov in the chest, and then he has to make a pad save and then cover the loose puck on Yager's chance in front.
Devils coming in waves now against the Avalanche. The Avalanche are getting a chance down at the other end, and then New Jersey's coming down and getting 1, 2, and 3 chances. And again, Yager, right? He is so long, strong. It's not just that he has a long reach. He is so powerful at the end of it.
Yeah, Peter, you're right, though. What you're sensing from the Devils, they're out shooting the Avs 14-4 here in the third period. I mean, it changed things completely around from the second period when they were outshot 13-2. There's still 7:45 left in this period. McKinnon held up. Bernier dropped the puck in the corner. Lifted up the wall. Kicked that by Barry. Back to the point for Barry. Nice pass for Wilson. Behind the net from Landeskog. Checked off the puck. Back up the boards to the half boards for Mitchell. To the point for Wilson. Snaps a pass across. Benoit shoots it off the backboard. One-handed over towards McKinnon. And spin out of trouble in the corner. Gets it up for Mitchell to the Avs. Off the boards to the point for Benoit. Slid it across. And a shot down the middle is blocked. Launched out to center. Over from backboard for Colorado. Long pass for Benoit. Lifted in. That'll give the Avs a chance to change things up. Pass through the middle. Ryder drop pass. Shot gets blocked. Hayden got in the middle of that one. Put off the boards and a race for the puck. No icing, and just simple hustle from Talbot prevented the icing call. The Devils end up with the puck and move out to center. Ryder cutting across the middle. Down low, and that one deflected away. Seemingly innocent play turned dangerous.
Mike doing the simple thing. Put the puck towards the net. Have bodies driving towards the net. You just don't know what's going to happen.
Center. Puck driven in by Hayda. Shade puts the puck behind the Devil net. Pass out to center. Barry flips it behind for Wilson. Drives the puck in. Cut off by Duchesne. Behind the net for O'Reilly. Up the board, Barry. Back for McGinn. Shot wide. Wilson waiting for the puck. He keys it up and he shoots. That one stopped by Schneider. Back up towards Wilson. Another chance. Another save by Schneider. And the puck is punched the other way. 5.5 left to go in the third. Wilson. In the far face-off circle for Tyson Barron. Return across the rink. Mitchell. Nick handles his way towards the line. Couldn't make it into the Devil zone. Off the boards. Now for Landeskog. Gets to it behind the net. Immediately checked off the puck. And Yager pushing the puck to center. McKinnon makes the steal. Lobbed it back, but over the stick of Johnson. He'll chase the puck along the end boards. Our game tied up at 1. Shot by Zajac, gets blocked. Pass across intended for Yager. Tipped out to center ice by Mitchell. McKinnon giving chase. But Zidlitsky makes the pass to center ice for Carter. Off the boards, and the puck sent back into the Avalanche zone. Tipped in. McLeod in the corner. check. Devils with the puck. Pass to center ice. Benoit makes a nice play. Sends it across for Talbot. Avs onside. Shot, save, rebound. And it's the Devils who get to the puck. Merrill played it off the glass and out.
Devils got caught in a little bit of a bad line change that opened things up for a quick break for the Avs.
Carter takes a hit from Holden, puts the puck behind the Avs net. Ryder on the board. Henrik back towards the point for Merrill. Sends it across. Green shot. Stopped by Varlamov. Duchesne's going up the ice. O'Reilly shoots it ahead down the boards for Duchesne. Immediately tied up. Tap free. Henrik with Ryder to center ice for the New Jersey Devils. Flipped it in. Pass up ice for O'Reilly. Gains the line, but he was surrounded by 3 Devils players that came over the line. Done around the boards by Schneider. The Devils have it again. In the center ice, Zajac off the boards and then into the Colorado zone. Collision behind the net. Zajac bounces off to Johnson. And the puck up the boards. 3 minutes left to go in the third period.
Nice play by McGinn. That was a one-on-one battle for that puck, and he got there in time to get it out of the zone.
Hayden shoots it across. Pass up ice. Through center. Mitchell's got a chance. He comes in. He shoots. Oh, and he went off of Schneider. And wide. Back out to center. Wilson gets the puck ahead. Coming in, McKinnon. He cuts across and shoots it wide. Played back to the point. Barry in. Shot. That one missed. Back up the boards for Wilson. Slides it across. Picked off. And a pass to center ice for Bernier. Barry coming back. Bernier shoots. Safe. Rebound. And that one went wide of the net. 2:15 left. Into the corner. A chance in front. It is blocked. Back towards the far side wall. Shot. And that one bounced wide. Wilson flings it around. Dribble back to the point. Green with a drive. And that one comes wide of the net after it tipped off of Varlamov. It is cleared around the glass and out of the zone. 1:55 left. With this game tied at 1.
Suddenly things just start, just happening. At both ends of the ice, quick breaks for these clubs. It's turned into a real good goaltender battle. Schneider, of course, with Vancouver for the last 3 full seasons. Always has played well against the Avalanche. For Semyon Varlamov, he has had 1-1 against the New Jersey Devils, but tonight, again, just solid, especially here in the third period. Let's have a look at these goals here, Michael.
All right.
Oh, I apologize. I was all excited there, Mike.
Well, it wouldn't take long. It's only a couple of goals.
Yeah,
We had the first period goal from O'Reilly, and then the third period goal for New Jersey.
And as always, the Avalanche hoping to get Stastny back for next game. P.A. Parento is so much closer than we could have possibly hoped for. Maybe he's back, but right now the Avalanche going with Leash at center.
Race back into the Devils zone, and we've got another icing call, this time against the Avalanche. 1:48 left to go.
You got to give the New Jersey Devils credit, Mike, in that second period. That was the kind of period where you could have seen them just, give up 2, 3, 4 goals and the game would have been over. They didn't, and they have bounced back here in this third period, have been very good.
Green slaps it wide of the net. Pass out to center, shot ahead. This time another icing call against the Avalanche. 1:33 remaining in the third.
The Avalanche Like the games just keep coming day off tomorrow. Practice in the morning before they fly on to Nashville. For New Jersey, same sort of situation, day off, and then they'll be in Phoenix for that game.
And that'll finish up their 4-game road trip. Zajac checked to the corner by Cleese. Jágr trying to power his way through. Sends the puck back to the point. Shot comes through and wide. Bounced out the center by Talbot. Moves it back to the Avalanche blue line. Hayda. Zajac takes the puck for New Jersey. Squeezed against the boards by Hayda. And shoots the puck down the ice. It'll go wide. Get another whistle on the ball with exactly 1 minute left in the third period. All right, let's look back at how we've gotten to this point in the game in the first period. Bordeleau, nice pass, and what a quick delivery by O'Reilly for his team leading 18th of the year. That goal held up to the third period. Luciano with a shot on that one-timer, and that tied up the game at 1. That came at 8:59 in the third period. That has just been a sheer battle of wills. Both goaltenders have played terrific here in this game. Varlamov, big-time saves. Duchesne breaks free. Coming in, he shoots the save by Schneider. Rebound in the corner, back up the boards. Out to center ice. Got ahead by Hayda. Stopped behind the net by Schneider. Off the boards. Hit by McGinn. Lifted towards the goaltender Schneider. We're down the last 20 seconds of the third period. Got in around the wall. Reversed around. Hayda's pass. Slipped away from Mitchell. 5 seconds left to go. We are going to have yet another overtime game for the Colorado Avalanche. We have had 60 minutes of hockey. Each team has come up with a goal, and that means we've got overtime coming at Pepsi Center in Denver. This overtime being brought to you by Groove Subaru on Broadway or online at grooveauto.com. Well, we have overtime again. It's becoming routine for the Avalanche. How have the teams done this season in overtime games? You see how many they have had lately, 7 of the last 13. The Avalanche this season are 5-2 in overtime games. For the Devils, they're pretty good in overtime, 6-3. But look what happens when you go to a shootout. Devils have lost 11 in a row in shootouts, but they do have a good record in overtimes. So here we go, 4-on-4 hockey, 5 minutes, sudden death overtime. Avalanche start with Duchesne, O'Reilly, Johnson, and Hayda. And Johnson with the puck, trying to come down the middle, taken away by the Devils. Elliott up front with Jágr. Pass across for Jágr, circles the net. Always dangerous, Jaromir Jágr. Handoff goes to Elliott. His pass broken up. Duchesne swings it out. Bounce back to Duchesne. He comes in over the line. He's by himself. He cuts across. Couldn't get a shot initially. Circles back. Pass across. One-timer, and the save made by Schneider on Landeskog. Devils come to center. Brought in by Green. Makes the pass across. Zubrus in, and he ran right into Varlamov. No penalty was called, and the puck comes the other way. It's McKinnon moving in. He bounds a shot, and the save made, and then the Avs come crashing towards the net. And the crowd reacted. And we are still moving along in overtime. Wow. And both ends have seen a little action in the early going.
Now watch Zubrus here, Mike. Does he make every effort possible to avoid the goalie? Because Varlamov is, you know what, as much as this, Mike, he gets run over here, I think he's mad at the number of times he's been run into lately. And then at the other end, it's Licky that runs into his own goaltender. But I mean, that was great action. But I'll tell you, the goaltenders are getting hit a lot.
Henrique moving in, pass broken up. Carried the other way by McKinnon. 3-on-2 for the Avalanche. Holden's the trailer. He gets the puck. He shoots. The save. Made by Schneider. Rebound to the corner. Comes out to center ice. Pass comes across. Return. Pass through the middle for McGinn. He's in. He shoots. And it went wide of the net. Back around the boards. Carried into the Avalanche zone. Down the middle. Shot dribbles to the net. And Varlamov will cover for a faceoff.
Right, this game started slowly. And it was almost see Varlamov talking to the referee right now about the situation. Again, it's it's kind of one of those things, Mike. They have opened it up for guys to drive to the net by making the nets move when in their hits, and the guys are less afraid to drive to the net. But poor goaltenders are saying, wait a minute, we don't. Those guys drive to the crease. Those are big boys.
Yeah, where is that line?
Yep.
Johnson after the puck in the corner, rolled it up the boards. Pass comes from Mitchell. Back behind him for Hayda. Center ice, received by Johnson. Over the line. McGinn. Check, and the puck lifted out to center ice. Devils have a 2-on-1 developing. Pass, shot, flash! Save Varlamov. He did that on Jaromir Jagr. Mr. 695 goals could not beat Varlamov for that shot.
And Michael, not only that, no person in the history of hockey has more game-winning goals than Jaromir Jagr. And he unloads, Mike. He couldn't have caught that any better. He could not have shot that in a better spot. He just got robbed. The other night, Patrick Kane, same thing.
Barry sends the puck to center for Duchesne. Comes over the line, down the slot. Poke check, but follow Wilson with a shot. And a save by Schneider. Duchesne comes away. Moves it with a pass towards Wilson that's picked off. Elliott gets it up for Zelenoff through the middle. Poke check, but it's fouled. Zelenoff has it for the Devils. Coming down the middle, looking for a tip. It's blocked. There's a chance and missed wide. Zidlinsky had a chance right in front. O'Reilly's pass comes to Wilson. Up ice, Tyson Barrie. 2 overtime winners this season. He's got the puck. He gets knocked down. The Devils get a 3-on-2 coming. Carried over the line by Ryder down the slot. Sticked aside by Varlamov. Henrik centers. Ryder in the corner. Benoit on him. Benoit takes away the puck. Shifted ahead. Passed out to center ice for McKinnon. He comes over the line. Slows up. Waits. Looking to make something happen. Drills back to the boards. Hand off to Landeskog. To Benoit at the point. Shot through some traffic. That one ricocheted wide. 1:20 left to go in overtime. Out to center ice. Merrill punches it ahead. Close. To the corner. Landeskog protects the puck. Pass comes to Holden. And we're down now to the last minute of overtime. Carried in by Mitchell to the corner. Pass out to center. That's going to be an icing call. There's the whistle. With 48 seconds left to go, the face-off will be in the New Jersey zone. Here comes a big face-off for the Avalanche.
And then talking with some of the Devils, talking about the conditioning, the altitude. This is the kind of situation now where you are gassed. It's been a long game. It's been a very fast game. At times physical. The New Jersey Devils now calling their timeout. Did you know how much less oxygen, Mike, percentage-wise, is in the altitude?
What's less oxygen?
How much less oxygen?
Hey, I just try to make it through the day.
I know, but I just saw the number, 17% less oxygen in the air at a mile high.
But I think it's more of what is in the head for the players. Thinking about it. How much does that really play into it?
Absolutely. But when you look at Semyon Varlamov in tonight's game, like it's just razor sharp. I mean, He's on every puck. He's seeing every puck. There's been a couple of gone literally right through the legs of Avalanche defensemen, right to the end there where Yager, I mean, maybe the most dangerous man ever in the history of hockey in key situations, is shut down on that shot.
Oh, that's win the face-off, but have to come out in the neutral zone for it. 40 seconds to go. Well, now the Avs get called for icing. Face-off coming back in the Colorado zone.
So the Avalanche have who they want on the ice. They've got Johnson and Hayden. They would be out on almost any situation at this time. And then they've got two center icemen, O'Reilly and Duchesne. So O'Reilly, given that, could be very aggressive on this faceoff.
Behind the net, Johnson lost the puck, but Hayden got to it first. Puts it up. Nice 2-on-1 for the Avalanche. Here's their chance. O'Reilly. Oh, what a save by Schneider. And a quick pass slowed up, but it comes out to center for Zajac. On the line for Elias. Dropped it back. Yager circles the net. Yager protecting the puck. Yager still with it. He shoots the save. The rebound comes back behind the net. Johnson for the Avalanche. Punched it out to center. And we are going to a shootout. 3-on-1 chance for the Avalanche, and O'Reilly could not bury that opportunity.
Well, a couple things play into it. One, O'Reilly is a left-handed shot coming down the right wing. And Mike, that's the right thing to do, is take that shot.
But Schneider made the big save. And so we are going to be going to a shootout. O'Reilly had the goal in the first. Lotianov in the third. Nobody scored in overtime. We're headed to a shootout. Welcome to tonight's shootout, being brought to you by Groove Subaru. We've seen, Peter, the Avalanche had a 3-on-1 chance late in the overtime.
The Devil defender had fallen down. Now watch the puck. It's going to roll a little bit right there. That helps take away the option of the pass. O'Reilly was trying to get the man to bite to come over to him. It didn't, and Mike, when it rolled, then I wasn't saying he's forced to take the shot, but then really any decision was removed from the situation. And O'Reilly, you know, Mike, good shot, and as we saw in the third period, boy, both goaltenders stepped up and were huge.
Well, we go to the shootout, and as we told you earlier, the Devils 0 for 7 this season and 11 consecutive losses in shootouts. And Semyon Varlamov has been terrific as an Avalanche goaltender in shootouts. For the Avs, it'll be Duchesne, McKinnon, O'Reilly. For the Devils, Elias, Henrique, and Zidlinsky, their defenseman. So Duchesne will go first for Colorado.
And as he always does, Varlamov right on the bench for the Avalanche, not standing in his crease.
Not even standing by the boards. Duchesne, first shooter tonight. Nice move, and it's good. That's Duchesne. What a good start for the Avalanche on this shootout with the New Jersey Devils.
Came with speed. Like that little kick, you know, get him to move. That's what you're trying to do when you're that shooter. You're trying to get the goaltender to open up something. And he opened up the 5-hole, and Duchesne threw it through the pads of Schneider. It was just a great effort.
Now, Elias was stopped on a breakaway earlier in this game. Can Varlamov stop him again? Oh, that is a beauty. That is one of the best saves I've seen in a shootout. What a wonderful save by Semyon Varlamov.
There was that moment, Mike, that you and I both, Elias thought it was in. Right there, he thought he had him. And he somehow was able to kick that left pad back. That's
one of the best ones I've ever seen in a shootout.
The quickness in Elias, I mean, he showed you what he's thinking about right there.
All right, big opportunity here for McKinnon. Coming in with a little off speed. He digs, he shoots, and the save by Schneider. So the Avs 1 for 2 in their opportunities.
Trying to do the same thing Duchesne did, coming in with some speed, go 5-hole.
Number 14, Adam Henrique.
Adam Henrique, a lot of talent. Slowly moving in. Henrique missed the net. And the Avalanche have a chance with their next shooter, O'Reilly, to win it.
And just to let you know, Schneider stayed in the crease. Goaltenders are allowed to stay in their crease. Varlamov just goes off. Varlamov just decides he is going to go off to the bench. Can win it, Michael. Mr. O'Reilly can win it here tonight.
If he scores, that's it. Here's a chance to win. Ryan O'Reilly going way wide, cutting across. He shoots. He's got it! And win the Groove Shootout. What a night. What a hockey game.
Just turned into a barn burner, didn't it?
Wasn't it a great game?
And O'Reilly will not get the shootout deciding goal. That goes to Duchesne. But let's face it, this is the one that the fans feel won it. Because the game's over now. The New Jersey Devils do not get another opportunity. He scored the only goal of the game for the Devils in the first period. Mikey just catches the shoulder of Schneider. But look at Varlamov. 10-0-5 now in his last 15 games for the Avalanche.
What a night for the Avs. They just are finding ways to win them.
Like, that's 30. Patrick Waugh at the start of the season said our goal is 45 wins. Well, after 47 games, Mike, they've already got 30. That means they only need 15 the rest of the way to hit that goal. I think they may have to up that ante.
All right, they have to go in the locker room to celebrate. Let's listen in to tonight's announcement. Here is the Lord Molson, 3 stars of the game.
Time now for tonight's 3 stars of the game, as selected by Mike Haynes of Altitude Television. Tonight's 3rd star from the Devils, number 35, Corey Schneider. Tonight's 2nd star from the Avalanche, with a goal in the shootout and a goal in regulation, number 90, Ryan O'Reilly. And tonight's 1st star, with 33 saves and the win, number 1, Semyon Varlamov. And our number 1 star is with Julie Brumman.
Varley, how satisfying of a win is this when it comes down to defense and it comes down to your goaltending?
Say again, it's so loud, so loud.
How satisfying was this win?
It was a tough game for us. I think we played very well the first 2 periods, and then after that, New Jersey came hard in the 3rd period. It was really tough, and then in overtime, we have some chances to score, just didn't score. But I think played a solid defensively game today.
You told me at the start of the season that this was your season to prove to everybody that you could be this team's number 1 starting goalie. How do you feel right now that you've proved it?
Well, I don't know, I feel pretty good right now, but it's all about teamwork. I can't play without helping. My teammates help me a lot, especially my defense. Guys score some goals every time, every game, which is really good. And then, that's it.
All right, congrats. Thanks, Varley.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Julie. Appreciate it. Varlamov was superb. Nothing better than that shootout save. A toe save on Elliott. And then O'Reilly with the 2nd shootout goal for the Avalanche. And that won it for Colorado in the shootout. Avalanche win it 2-1. We'll come back to wrap things up in just a moment.